Hello, welcome back to another video. If you are new, my name is Nicola and today we'll be doing this bracelet stacking nail art that's currently trending. I was super excited to try this. I've not practiced, I've not watched any tutorials yet, so we just went in and we tried to do it. We tried to do our thing. So let me know what you think, especially for my first go. Going in with the products very quickly, this is the Snow White and the pink core powder that I'm using. Is called Fantasy, and the monomer is the Ultra Adhesive, and all them products are from CJP, and my brush that I'm using is just from Shein and it's a size 16. So lay my first bead where the natural nail meets the tip. I lay that, just work the sides, keeping it like tidy, clean, patting it, and then you do want to bring the product down towards the end of the nail. I work in smaller beads and normally have to go in quite a few times to help build it, but that's just because I'm not super comfortable with like really big beads, or if you know what I'm saying, especially if you're a beginner, it is better to do it in small beads as you've just got more control. The second bead is where you will have your apex or your structure bead. So you want to lay that a little bit higher from where you put your first bead. You want to keep the majority of the product there. Tapping the sides of making sure your sidewalls are, have good amount of product, but it's not on your skin. And you just want to blend the very bottom of that bead into your first bead that you laid, as you just want to keep the majority of that strength there on your second bead. And then your third bead you will place just below your cuticle, keeping your finger pointed down. You push the product up a little bit, keeping that finger down to avoid the product seeping into your cuticles. And then once you've tucked in your sides, again, just swipe and blend. If you are finding that you need more time with your acrylic beads, just add like a tiny bit more monomer to your brush and it should give you a little bit more time to work with your product. Always cap with clear when you are doing your ombres. This will protect your design and add strength, especially if you are using coloured acrylic. So once the acrylic is dry, you want to go in with your filing and shaping. I am using a 5-in-1 bit and my e-fil, and I'm just cleaning up around the cuticles and lightly going over the entire surface of the nail. I am definitely more comfortable with a hand file, and if you are a beginner, I would advise you just gravitate towards a hand file just until you're comfortable and you've got a good understanding of how to get your nails smooth and get that shape nice. And then I would then advise you try your e-fil. So just jumping back in, I am using my 180 grit nail file and I am just cleaning up the shape and the free edge, just getting it very crisp, or as crisp as I can. And I am again going over the entire surface just to make sure that I have smoothed like all the acrylic and it's a good base for the nail art. You do obviously need to buff and clean off your nails with alcohol just to get all that dust off and ensure that when you are going in with your nail art that there's no dust there, because it will show up. I am using my canny nail polish in, I think it's just numbers actually, but just a white, and I do 2 coats. In between the 2 gel polish applications, I cure in the light for 60 seconds, and then also I go in with my matte top coat, which is from Canny as well, and then I do put that in the light to cure for 60 seconds. And then we are going to move on to the sweater nail art. So again, you just go in with the exact same gel polish, and I'm just mapping out sort of where I want my design to be. And then I just connect the left from the right. And then once you've done that, you want to go, do not cure it, just grab your clear acrylic and just pour that on top of your design. And then you will have to put that in the light to cure for 60 seconds. And then when you take it out, you can brush off the excess. So for my pointer finger, I just repeated the exact same thing that I did on my ring finger, and now going in with my middle finger, we are starting the bracelet stacking. I didn't do too much because I don't know what the hell I'm doing, and if you do watch other like tutorials and stuff, you will get a better of idea on how to do these properly. But this is just me playing around with nail art and just figuring it out as I go. I did apply the matte top coat to the nails, and then I did do the isolated chrome. So the very bottom one is the gold, and then the second one is like a brown chrome powder. You can't really see it that well on camera, but in person you can see it a lot better. And I don't have any chains, I don't have any sort of, I'll try and put up on the screen what I'm talking about. I don't have any, so all of the designs like for the bracelet stacking I had to do just individually, so it was a little bit of a challenge. I did use my rhinestone gel, and even then, like, it was still slipping and sliding a little bit. As you can see here, I'm just trying to make sure it's straight and just step by step. I think you've definitely got to cure and just take it little bit by little bit. I'm not the best with sort of rhinestones and caviar beads. It's very time consuming. I didn't have like any sort of brown like gems to do, so I had to just stick with gold. But I think for a first time it wasn't too bad. And going on with the main bangle, I used the 3D gel. I think it's like just, I will put it on exactly what I used. I'll put a little photo. I used a tiny bit of the rhinestone glue to lay that 3D gel, and I did just like cut off the ends a little bit, and I did cure that. And then going in with that brown that's on my pinky finger, sorry, not pinky, my index, I painted the bangle and just started doing this like sort of white marble effect just to try and tie that white in. I used the alcohol to just disperse the colour a little bit, and then I cured, and then I think I go in again and just make a few more lines just to add like depth and dimension to the bangle. So for my pinky, I just did a French, and I did 2 layers and cured both individually for 60 seconds, and then applying matte top again, and then just going in with what I did on my middle finger. So this one is isolated chrome in gold. I know this isn't everyone's cup of tea. Like, even when I first started seeing it, I was like, I would never wear that. But it's growing on me a little bit. It actually is. I know everyone's not a fan though, and I think with a bit of practice I could probably do a better set, but not too bad. I do need to remember to start wearing gloves, especially when working with products and gels. And it's just, yeah, it's good practice, especially when you're doing clients as well. You need to be wearing your gloves. I think the size that I've currently got is a little bit too big. So when it comes to the nail art, you will see me normally tend to take them off because I just struggle to, I don't know, because the ends of the gloves, like the tips, they're just a bit longer than my actual hands. So I think I need to drop to a size medium. So this is the 3D gel, and I just roll it out with my finger, apply the rhinestone gel, place that on. I should like not be using my nail to cut it off, but that's just what I did. But I definitely should be using a tool. And then I just do paint that white. I really miss wearing nails, and I don't think I've worn nails for about a year, and that's really bad. I think it was it's not quite a year. I think it was last Christmas that I wore nails. So I definitely need to, I think, buy a practice hand. That way I can still practice, do content, but then I can actually wear nails for myself and test my retention, because I used to have really good retention on my nails, but I haven't done prep for a while, so I bet that's slacking it a little bit. And for the thumb, I just did the sweater nail art design again. I really hope you like this video. Let me know what you think. Let me know if the bangle nail art is your thing. I just want to say thank you for watching. If you haven't already, please consider subscribing and liking the video. And yeah, I will catch you in the next one. Bye.